From Chak De India to Dangal, Indian cinema has long celebrated the power of sports, not just as a path to glory, but as a reflection of deeper social change. These stories of grit, aspiration, and triumph have inspired generations. But today, real life is scripting its own blockbuster moments. In 2025, Neeraj Chopra soared to victory at the Paris Diamond League, reaffirming India's dominance in athletics. At the same time, Gukesh shattered records by becoming the youngest ever world chess champion, placing India at the heart of global intellectual sport. And yet, behind these milestones lies a larger question. Can India's sports ecosystem consistently produce such excellence? Welcome to the VISIONIAS Deep Dive series, where today we unpack the National Sports Policy 2025 or Khel Bharat Niti, a comprehensive roadmap to make India a true sporting powerhouse. The policy is not just about winning medals. It's about embedding sports into education, economics, governance, and nation building. In this episode, we'll break down the core pillars of this ambitious policy, examine some of gaps that still exist in its implementation, and suggest reforms to convert vision into velocity. The sports policy aims to establish India as a global sporting powerhouse and a strong contender for excellence at international sporting events, including the 2036 Olympic Games. To understand the promise of National Sports Policy 2025, we will first see its core pillars. The policy is built on 5 key pillars. First, it aims to help Indian athletes succeed globally through early talent search, athlete-centric programs, coaching reforms, and strong support systems. It also focuses on parasports and aims to involve districts and states in talent development. Second, it highlights the economic potential of sports by promoting tourism and international events. It encourages innovation, corporate social responsibility, investment, and aims to make India a global destination for sports business. It has been demonstrated by how Indian Premier League, Cricket, and Pro Kabaddi League have become not just revenue engines, but also robust talent incubators. Third, the policy aims to use sports as a tool for social change. It aims to ensure participation from women, tribals, persons with disabilities, and the poor as well. It supports indigenous games, volunteering, dual career paths, and engagement with the Indian diaspora. We have witnessed that revival efforts in games such as Mallakhamba and Kho-Kho have brought regional talent into the national spotlight. Fourth, it seeks to turn sports into a people's movement. It aims to achieve it by building fitness indices, standard operating procedures for schools and offices, and also social sport hubs at block and district levels. Fifth, it aligns the policy with the National Education Policy 2020. It will be achieved by revamping physical education, training teachers, improving access to facilities, and linking institutions with National Sports Federation. Additionally, a national implementation framework focuses on governance, funding, use of technology, and provides a model for states to follow. Sports governance and policy in India grapple with some of the complex and overlapping challenges that limit the impact of even well-designed reforms. One persistent concern is the lack of infrastructure and modern training facilities, which continues to hinder both grassroots talent development and India's global competitiveness. According to a parliamentary committee report, the Department of Youth Affairs received just 0.02% of the union budget, reflecting critical underinvestment. Another issue facing the sports sector is the erosion of trust in selection processes of athletes due to allegations of corruption and nepotism. Madras High Court in 2024 noted that sports bodies dominated by politicians and businessmen often sideline merit. It also called for 75% representation of eminent sports persons in administrative roles. Now, we move to another challenge plaguing the sports sector. This is related to challenges faced by women in the sports sector. Women continue to face limited opportunities, inadequate recognition, and poor institutional safeguards. The 2022 cycling case highlighted unsafe training environments and reported harassment complaints against coaches. Despite legal safeguards under the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act, compliance remains weak. Furthermore, funding shortages and staffing gaps remain high, especially in underserved regions. Weak monitoring mechanisms and fragmented inter-agency coordination continue to stall implementation across both youth and sports schemes. Unless these structural barriers are addressed with legal mandates, institutional reform, and cross-sectoral synergy, the national sports policy risks falling short of its transformative promise. Improving sports governance in India requires a mix of legal, institutional, and programmatic reforms. Transparency must be strengthened through independent audits, anti-corruption systems, and reduced bureaucratic hurdles. This would help restore trust and accountability across selection, funding, and administration processes. Another focus is grassroots development through school-based sports programs, community clubs, and early talent identification via scouting camps and academies. Such investments can broaden the talent base and improve access in underserved districts, especially in disciplines like Kho-Kho, wrestling, Malakhamb, and badminton, where structured academies and early exposure have shown tangible results. Moreover, coaching systems must be upgraded with qualified professionals, modern techniques, and sports science support. This ensures athletes receive evidence-based, performance-oriented training from grassroots to elite levels. Moving on to athlete welfare, access to medical support, financial aid, insurance, and career counseling is vital for long-term performance. These measures can reduce athlete dropouts and promote sustainable sporting careers. Also, flexible education programs and academic support can help young athletes balance studies and training. This will enable students to pursue sports without compromising formal education. Further, inclusion of persons with disabilities and transgender athletes must move beyond symbolism to enforceable safeguards. Doing so would institutionalize dignity and participation across identity lines. Moreover, gender equality must be ensured through fair representation and equal allocation of resources. Equity in leadership and funding will foster a more inclusive ecosystem. Improving coordination among government bodies, private players, and international collaborations is a key to boost capacity. A unified governance structure will improve execution and reduce policy fragmentation. Lastly, dedicated funding, strong monitoring, and regular evaluations are essential to measure outcomes. Such mechanisms will ensure course correction and long-term policy effectiveness. Building the sporting India of tomorrow. India's sporting ambition is no longer about medal counts, but about shaping an ecosystem rooted in equality, efficiency, and national pride. The blueprint exists. What needed now is bold, coordinated execution. With its structured vision and forward-looking strategy, National Sports Policy 2025 sets India on a transformative path toward becoming a leading sporting nation globally, while creating healthier, more engaged, and empowered citizens.